Okay.
All right, we'll call this meeting to order.
Late to everything today somehow.
We have a roll call, please.
Councilmember Conrad,
Here.
Mayor Riggins.
Here.
You have a quorum.
May we have a report on the posting of the agenda?
The agenda was properly posted on December 3rd, 2025.
May we have an approval of the agenda?
I approve.
Would you like to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
I will second that. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Public comment. Do we have any for general public comment?
All of these are for the item on the agenda.
So, new business, 3A, Malibu Library set aside funds for fiscal year 26-27. And will our deputy city manager be doing the presentation or another member of staff?
I have a short presentation for you
Great.
today. All right, so quickly want to reorient you all to the beginning of the budget cycle for the library set aside funds. We're starting very early because it takes a bit of time to go through the priorities, through the approvals. So essentially we are creating priorities now for June. That is our adoption date. Currently, we are looking at creating a list of priorities for today. And these priorities will be taken to the library staff meeting at the annual staff meeting. But before that, they will be going to the city council for approval on Monday. So you will have a second time Monday at the city council meeting to bring any comments to the city council as a whole. But today, really what we want to get at is getting a list of high-level priorities. Currently, what we're looking at, this is our current list of priorities for 25-26. We're not necessarily assigning budget numbers yet. We're not creating a budget. We are creating a list of priorities that we will take to the library staff in order to create the budget. So they always say budgets are your priorities, so we want to make sure that your priorities are aligned in order to build that budget properly. So these are the current priorities. Continue funding 24-25. This is carried over from last year's meeting. Continue augment city's annual allocation of operation and facility improvements. Funding screening events and programming for the Malibu Film Society. Support for Malibu school campus libraries. Continue funding the library speaker series and local author series program. Exploration of new library services within the city's community lands project. Educational and outreach programming at Legacy Park. Enhancing the program offerings for the Malibu Poet Laureates. So these priorities were approved by the City Council last year, and we will take this to the county staff on December 16th as a city's list of priorities. In March is when we come back and present a budget and start having those discussions about how much funding goes where. But really wanted to open it up today to start discussing what those high-level priorities are for this next fiscal year. And you're ready for public comment? So as well,
Do you have any clarifying questions you want to answer? For public comment?
I think with the Malibu Film Society, do we have a list of what they've been doing with the funding?
Not yet. So this was a priority that was pushed forward last year. The program didn't go through the fiscal year, and this is a carryover item.
Okay. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll start with public comment.
All right. So first up, we have Ricardo.
Great. First time I've been to one of these meetings, where do I go?
You can, if you're comfortable right there.
Krista. So I'm speaking on behalf of the Malibu Poet Laureate and especially the writers in the schools. I do poetry in the schools in every school in Malibu except for, and I'd love to get into the Catholic school, but they haven't invited me yet, so there we go. And I, along with Jolyn Regan and Nathan Hassel, who was the last Poet Laureate, we conduct poetry workshops in the elementary schools and the high school and the middle schools. And we started 8 years ago, and it's been very successful, I think. And every year we put out, I'm going to show you a couple, we put out these anthologies, and every student, here's one, here's another one. Every student has one of their poems in the anthology. as well as artwork. So we also hire an artist. That's the cover, shows the artwork that we hire an artist to work with the students, the 5th graders. And I think it's been a wonderful program. I hope I'm explaining it well enough. And I'd like to see that we have more funds so we can hire an art teacher for the 2nd, 5th grade, and also more guest writers. We actually have one of the guest writers is Angel Diaz, and he was in my first 8th grade class. And he's come back, finished at UC Santa Barbara, and he's now helping in the classroom. It's fabulous. So I think it's a worthy program, and I'll let Charlotte and Ann speak on the other offerings in the Malibu Poet Laureate, but I'm talking about the school program, which I think has been beneficial. Yes.
I was just gonna ask, did you prepare and submit a budget of what it is that your request is?
I did not.
Okay.
I hope somebody,
Would it work for?
but thank you.
Well, I'm not sure, maybe Charlotte's gonna address that when she speaks.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Next speaker.
And?
Ann?
The other end.
The other Ann.
Oh, is there another end?
It's your turn. You go ahead.
I just wanted to town. I don't go to visit their sewer system. The culture of a community is what attracts me to that community. So it's so important to offer these gatherings where people can meet and not only be talked to, but interact. At Caffeinated Verse, we have a featured speaker, a featured poet, who's maybe from New Jersey. He's widely known, he might come in. But after that, we have an open mic. It's a chance for people to reveal who they are to each other, because a community ultimately means to serve together. That's the etymological root of the word community. How can you serve with someone you don't even know? So you have to have opportunities to get together, to be heard and to listen to each other. And when you're asked to write a poem, you don't usually write about, the time you went to the bank and you write about things that are kind of important to you. And we have workshops that, in fact, I've got some from the last workshop that was handed out. If any of you are interested, you come to the workshop where you can look at this handout that was made that will give you an idea of what happens in those rooms that you're supporting. So at any rate, I think a culture is remade every day as we interact among us and share our ideas. And when we don't, we just, hi, how are you? Fine. Well, no, I'm not fine. Don't bother asking if you don't have time to engage, because I want engagement. I want people to know who I am, and I want to know who you are. I mean, that's what a community is. So thank God that we have people supporting the culture of this community with arts. Any questions?
I love the flyer, Ann.
Yeah,
May
that's
I
what I
have
was
a
gonna
flyer?
suggest that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't know if any of you would be interested, but,
What
Well, I
about the
think
homeless
we did too.
people? Interaction with the homeless folk?
huh?
The homeless folk?
Do
There-
we interact? I interact with everybody.
Thank you.
But why are they're always at the library and then they get kicked out into the cold?
Well, you'd have to talk to them about the
And,
library.
I'm sorry, did you put in a speaker slip?
I will.
Okay, that'd be
Yeah.
good, thank you.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I made a mistake.
So anyone who wants a sample of what we did at the last one, Kristen helped copy them. So at any rate, yeah. I'm thankful for you guys for helping this happen. Yeah. Hi.
I
know
have to keep my
you.
hand elevated, sorry.
Oh, I
I'm
love
not
that.
asking a question.
Oh, because your finger.
Oh, ma'am.
Well, we hope it gets
Did you get a
better.
chance to put in a speaker slip?
Oh, no, I don't know. Next speaker, Charlotte.
the current poet laureate. Oh, I do want to add that for Ricardo's work that he does with Jolene in the room, I went up to someone the other day, found out I was a poet, and he was so excited because his kid had been in your class and he was performing at the annual summit. They get so excited to know that they're included in this, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Charlotte, please.
Thank you. There is something so heartwarming about people speaking in poetic language at our meetings. We have one writing meeting a month and then the one caffeinated verse where we invite a poet, a known poet, to speak. And then we have the open mic, as Ann said. And the spirit that people share, they get up and tell their poem, and people laugh and they cry and they shout and they clap. And we come out this much higher than when we went into the room. So what does art do for us? It gives us agency. It enters us into what is called the zone, where we forget about time, we forget about consciousness, and we are a part of this wonderful thing that we've created. I know personally I have some aches and pains, not surprising. And when I'm writing, as I call it, when I'm on poem, I feel fine. So in this room, when people are listening to poetry and reading their own, they feel wonderful. And I think we're so necessary now when there are so many things that are serious and pulling us down or want to, that there is an exalting place where we can celebrate art and each other. To the point of this meeting, I think, is that we made a big
Jump in the budget?
budget, thank you. I'm a poet, can you believe? I don't know budgets, but I did. I created a budget and it was passed, I think 2 days ago, for $100,000 for the year. So that is the same budget that I appeal to you to agree to again, because we made a lot of room for the educational part of our program so that Ricardo and Jolene and Nathan and Angel can go into the rooms, separate rooms, and inspire the students and print a book celebrating them. And then also we can invite some very well-known poets from around the country, as well as celebrate our own poets and the community as a whole. Any questions? Any hurrahs? And Pamela, were you holding up your?
No,
I
she's got
have
it.
to she has an injury on her hand. She's elevating.
You have my permission. Thank you.
Thank you very
Hey,
much.
Charlotte, thank you. Thank you.
You bet. I am totally invested in this community, and particularly in the art and the heartfelt expressions. I think we need it more than ever. Thank you.
Our next speaker,
Denise DeNardo.
Denise, you got this book.
Here I am.
Here you are.
First of all, thank you all. I'm a little bit, I've never done this before with your group, and I came not quite knowing what my focus would be, other than its education and community and the library, which I passionately love. I come from a father who spent his lifetime educating people in this community. I grew up with them at my age, and I became his most difficult student because I'm a tactile learner. And didn't know what that was until I became an adult and worked with a lot of children in this community. So I'm here representing SAMO Fund in an environmental proposal that is already at Webster. It's the first of its kind to address all students at all ages, which is bringing the idea of sustainability and environmental sustainability into the classroom in a project-based environment. Not poetry, but it is the poetry of the ground under our feet. For my own self, that's how I learned, and it's become, going through every fire here, fire resiliency in nature, and how do we address it from another angle, besides just constantly putting out fires, evacuating, and having no home. How do we bring our fractured community back together? How do we reunite the children in this community with those of us, and those of us that are in their 70s? How do we recreate hope and belief in our own power? So in my experience, it has been getting my hands in the dirt. It has been getting to know the roots under my feet. It has been a long and interesting journey, starting, we put microforests in Santa Monica. We then brought it into Crossroads because we were asked to, and provided a class of 50 kindergartners, all the parents and all the teachers. As a result of that, we're at Webster. Webster is the first, as I know it, tactile environmental program that's project-based, at least in our school system. I picked Webster, I picked Malibu because I grew up here, and my father, first teacher at Malibu Junior High, was his, literally till the day he died, he was helping the students as a tutor. Except me, I was a little slow. And on the heels of that, I submitted a proposal, not knowing how this goes, about bringing everything we've experienced, utilizing our library in this city as a meeting place, an experiential, where the students and the elders and the entire community can walk into a library, and books saved my life, and get the experience of an urban forest in a nomad museum kind of experience, where you're taking the artists and our students, where you're taking the artists in this community, and you're creating literally an urban microforest the minute you walk in the door. Yeah, well, I don't know what else to say.
Okay.
Anyway, so the hope is that we will be able to create this thing in the library as a demo to the school libraries and then other cities, and also advance what's going on in Webster to all the schools in Malibu.
Nice.
I don't have a budget, because I didn't even know I was doing that, but I can get you a budget. Does anybody have any questions about anything?
Helen, you have any
I was
questions?
gonna say, what would your budget be if you had I guess you wouldn't have a design or anything, because that would take time.
We have a basic design for the actual library part. We have a general budget on the implementation of both coordinating together in the schools and in the library, but I need a minute.
No, of course, yeah. So I guess what I'm wondering is your program would be, right now the entrance to the library is up the concrete steps.
Yep.
But there is the grass pad in front of the library.
Yep.
So this is a proposal to make that more of an educational living.
Well, and also inside of the library, to use artists to literally create an experience. You walk in the door of the library, and you're not just in walls of books. You're inside of a microforest on all levels, and that the books become our signage that lead us on the trip. So certain books are presented as your signposts. And in the center of it is a actual seed planting, germination experience that can then lead the community, whether you're our age or you're your age or you're a child collectively, to create what is going to, we've just gotten a site through Parks and Rec to do the butterfly pollinator part of this at Michael Landon. We're in discussions about the physical microforest, which I think at the moment is going to go onto Webster unless somebody has a better idea. So it would be three-part. It would be, the library is almost like walking into another world, which it always has been for me. The educational arm is inside of every school, where every student has a part of this, both in the earth and in the library.
No.
And that collectively, it's a community, which the pollinator garden will be at Michael Landon Community Planting Event.
Thank you.
So that's that. Anybody else have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Casey?
Amazing. Yes. If I may request, we have a group, so we're gonna do all 12 minutes together, if that's okay?
We don't have that set for the subcommittee meeting, only for today.
I would say you get 3 minutes and.
Then pass them on? Okay, line up, get on deck.
Casey, can we record you?
I mean.
The media's already here recording,
Yeah,
so
media.
okay.
Oh, yeah, media's here. Fox 11's here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you're,
It's the fourth estate.
I don't know what it is, I'm just CNN writers. Okay, Casey Ernest Boys and Girls Club. I just want to call out quickly, my daughter went through the program, Laureate. It was so much fun for them to be mentored to by Jolyn and the group. Recite poetry in Poetry Park. It was a beautiful event. I love it. We had our book, so let's keep it up and let's keep it going. Resilience, whether it's with the ground beneath us, the art that we're participating in, it's all community and it's all youth. And that's why I'm really excited. We talked about this at our last subcommittee meeting. But Boys and Girls Club, aside from all of our current mental health after-school programming, long-term disaster recovery services, we are invested in resilience and preparedness. And it's not just about, you know, making sure your home's safe, but it's about using the resources, our human resources that we have to train our children, to educate them, to become a part of this preparedness program, which obviously creates resilience. So there's partnership with the Community Brigade as our subject matter experts. There's Boys and Girls Club, social emotional wellness, and then there's this entire youth population for which we are hoping to bring through this program. We're really excited about it. I'm gonna go ahead and toss some minutes. Is Mikey going next?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, Casey. Hi, everybody. Good to see everyone. So the Community Brigade is requesting $250,000 for wildlife education preparedness and disaster resilience program. I don't think it's a big secret that we've had a little bit of issue with fire in the last number of years and the impact on the community. The Community Brigade was formed to help cause culture change in wildfire preparedness. It was unexpected to us that we would be fighting fires before we were trying to stop fires from occurring, but that's just the way it went. So right now, personally, outside the brigade, I've been going neighborhood to neighborhood, speaking to neighborhoods about how to become more prepared. We want to take that to a whole nother level, and that starts with education. And it also starts with having a team of people to go out and actually help communities, experts that can go into communities and help them know what they can do to improve their preparedness for fire. So some of the things we want to do here are workshops and educational events that teach the fundamentals of wildfire behavior, ember intrusion, defensible space strategies. This will allow community members to interact with the experts. It could be at City Hall, the Senior Center, Public Library. There's a lot of ways we can do this, but get the community more involved. Typically, when I go to a community, the first thing everyone wants to know is what hose to buy. That's the last thing, if we ever talk about it, that we're talking about here. We're talking about having your house ready and having the mindset on what to do for wildlife preparedness. The second thing is the home ignition zone assessments. The city does them for free. We have a huge trained force of people ready to go out and do them. We need support to get that done. It'll actually dovetail with what the city does already, and we are prepared to help with that effort on all sorts of fronts, and causing causing cultural change, which I think is missing in that area, because not enough people sign up for home assessments. DIY learning resources such as printed guides, video tutorials, access to home hardening tools through partnerships with the Malibu Library Lending Program, There's all sorts of ways that we can help people do it yourself, with do-it-yourself learning. Peer-to-peer learning, training community members to become educators themselves, kind of talked about that. Creating trusted local leaders who continue to spread knowledge, support, and accountability. I think it's notable to me that when I go into a community and they say, which hoses should I get? I'm like, okay, tell me who your neighbors are first. Do you have a list of them? Which ones need help in event of an emergency? Do you have any idea? I know for me in the Woolsey fire, I discovered a 90-year-old woman the very next day, next door to a house that burned down that morning. And it really, really shocked me to see how unprepared we were, even though we thought we were prepared.
Where were we?
Okay,
Okay, Dana.
Am I done? Am I out?
well, let's put questions, now Dana.
Okay.
Dana, you got it.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to also share that as leader with the community brigade, that one of the things that is really important is the home emission zone assessments, which Mikey touched on. But when we do that, and I had them done at both of my family's homes. It is a complete culture shift for yourself and a learning education for the person receiving. We give a whole list of ideas and things, and you literally walk through and you say, is that eave gonna burn? Is there an ember possibly gonna come that way? And it has taken me, I had mine done 3 years ago by Tyler Hotman from the Community Brigade when we first started. And Brent came and did it, and Keegan. And I'm still working on that list, and it is a guide for me to take away and literally go through piece by piece of my entire property and work. So it's really more about changing the thought process in all of Malibu and the surrounding areas, not just you, but your neighbors, helping I've reached out to a couple of neighbors and said, hey, these trees, can we work on them together? I will pay for it. Can I show you what happens in a wildfire so you understand? And I'm passing that knowledge around as well. And so I think that's a really important piece of the educational part of what the community brigade is pitching.
Yes.
I'm sure there's lots of things.
Leftover time. So there's a community brigade proposal, and there's a Boys and Girls Club proposal, and they work together. So the role that the Boys and Girls Club will play is facilitating the youth education component of this. So the idea is that all the youth, and it's 1,200 youth, in our schools are gonna learn basic fire science and be able to go home with some resources, some little flashcards, do their own home assessment, let their parents know what risk they might be. I have another name for this proposal that is community preparedness as a catalyst for healing. So the other place is where it intersects with mental health, because we see it in our youth. We see everybody drawing pictures of fires, my kids included, since the Woolsey fire. And this is a way for them to positively engage through knowledge. They learn a little bit, they go home, they talk about it, talk to their parents, and then the parents hopefully sign up for a formal assessment with the community brigade. We have a club in the high school now, it's a community brigade club. I think there's 15 high schoolers and this is of their own. They thought this was a priority. It's a community service project. They realize that what they're signing up for is handing out water to the firemen or directing traffic or whatever way it is. They understand they're not signing up to fight fires necessarily, but it's gained quite an interest, and part of the idea is we want to be able to utilize that club with the lower grade education, and all the way down to kindergarten, we're going to be learning about fire science. This will be led by our wellness director. So it has a wellness component. We go into the schools, the classrooms, the brigade comes in as the subject matter experts. Families maybe sign up for home assessments because of it, because the kids are all learning about it. And then it just results in this overall culture of resilience and understanding that, if we live in Malibu, we learn about the ocean.
Right.
But we're also a unique fire environment, and I think, I just joined the brigade, by the way, which was an amazing experience and very therapeutic. And I realized that all the people coming, it's unique. Firemen don't usually sign up to be firemen because their house burned down, but here they do. So there's different reasons that people are doing that, but it's very therapeutic. And that we learned that Malibu is considered, like nationwide or worldwide, is considered kind of a pinnacle place for fires. Like people consider it's the most dangerous place. Firemen are terrified if they have to come here. That's why they don't go in our canyons.
Right.
So, but one of the other things we learn, and I realize this is super value, is I think, and I believe we can measure this and will be able to through this program, we can reduce the animosity between homeowners or fire survivors and public agencies, like fire.
Yep.
And I'm confident that we will be able to measure that by the end of this.
That's about education. That piece
Yes.
is also very much about education.
Yes.
Right. The I was alone piece is about education.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, one of you mentioned wildlife,
I think
but I didn't hear
wildfire.
any other talk about it. You just said it once. Is there
I
some?
think he may have misspoke. He meant wildfire.
It may
Wildfire, yeah.
have been
We're
intended
talking
to be
about
I mean, you bring up a
wildfire.
good point, though.
Well,
Any way we
yeah.
can stop fires, I mean, the hardest part of fighting a wildfire, to me, is wildlife. So if we can do anything to prevent fires, it-
Saving
those
wildlife.
are stories I don't even repeat. They're too sad. They're
But
too-
the
they're too
wildlife
hard.
is part of the culture of this place.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it
Yes.
has to be addressed, how we can change the culture of how we
I think we
choose to
can go
live.
further into that.
Yeah.
This is just a
Later.
presentation right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a claim?
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
So you're asking, so your proposal is for 250,000 for the.
Collectively?
Collectively?
No,
Okay.
for the-
Oh, that's.
For the
so
fire
each.
brigade. At
Fire
200,000,
Boys and Girls Club and.
I think it's.
For context, less than the cost of replacing one garage.
Okay, but just so we're clear
Yes,
what
two
the ask
separate
is.
proposals.
Community brigades is 250, Boys and Girls Club is 250.
Yeah, I think it was submitted as 200.
200?
Okay.
I just wanna have it on
And
my
then,
notes.
as a side note, because I did talk about it, and I don't know if the continuing funding applies to moving forward, but the Boys and Girls Club receives the supplies grant annually for 50,000, for which we purchase a lot of the educational components.
Do you have a separate slip for Boys and Girls Club exclusively?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not clear on the process for that one, so anyways, you let me know.
You wanna make sure that your continued past
Yes.
support is ongoing and this
Yes.
is not affected by it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I also love the idea of the teenager community brigade.
It's
I'd
happening.
like to meet them. Just,
It was
We would love
started
to
by
introduce
Max
you.
and Chiat.
I don't know Maxim Shyatt.
Ken Chiat's grandson.
Oh, Shyatt, do know them, yes. I would
Okay.
love to do
Yeah,
that
let's
with
talk
you,
offline,
maybe.
maybe we can have them
Um,
come to a city council meeting or something.
My question is, do you guys know if anybody works with realtors? Because I think a lot of the time, and I love the youth, because it's like, kids when I was growing up, they wanted to be firemen,
A
and
lot.
women. Now nobody wants to do it, so I think you start them young, and then hopefully we have a new breed. But what I've noticed is, like, I moved here from New York, and nobody really talked about it because it's super scary. But it's the new residents, whether you have kids or not, that need to be educated.
Oh, absolutely, and a lot of the brigade members are realtors and would be involved in this project, and that could be integrated into their education as they're showing people homes.
It's part of the culture change right there.
Culture change, right, you're right, moving into something you need to be educated about, and I guess that was those were my questions and concerns.
But also if they have kids, right? And the kids go to school.
Sometimes they have kids, sometimes they don't have.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
But
The one thing that I would add is, because it matters, is the middle school librarian is a component of this whole delivery.
Mm-hmm.
So it
That's
works with the
good.
library fund. And
Right.
we discussed the thinking of the whole community as a library. You know, as a resource, library and resource for learning.
And just one comment about culture change, it can happen and it can happen quicker than we think. When we started the wellness center in 2017, I was told repeatedly that kids would not self-elect for mental health services during the school day in the same place that their peers existed. And we have wellness centers on all 4 Malibu public schools. We see more children in our wellness services than we see in after-school programs, and we're serving all kids. So talk about a culture shift, it can happen.
Thank Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a quick question for staff. In the online version of the agenda, we had a $13 million addition.
I think that was said separately.
Submission from Ambassador Bond, and I can cover that.
She's gonna cover it.
Got it. Okay.
Next speaker, please.
And Kate?
Hello, my name's Ann Comaras. First of all, Frank Gehry died at 96, just a while ago, I guess, announced it, so that's so.
Today?
Yes, today. Yes, I don't know, just saw it in the flash.
Yeah.
So, I'm running for governor, in case you guys don't know it, Anastasia Comaras, NPP, no party preference, no politics, business only. The other thing is, I run the Fourth Estate. Have you ever heard of it? It's a network or TV channel. We do all this stuff, so don't worry, you'll be on TV. It'll be fine. And the other thing on the library is I noticed that the area in the front of the library, the green grass, is not very green. It needs to be redone. So it'd be nice if the grass was a little bit nicer. And what about the homeless people? So I go to the library often and run into the homeless folk who get kicked out and have nowhere to go. So they tend to go there to stay cool, but then after that, it's not cool when you kick them out. So I don't know where to turn to about giving some shelter to these people or discouraging them from coming to Malibu in general. So hopefully you guys can figure that out as part of your funding, is how do you fund a situation or control system once you kick them out of the library, that they don't hang out there for overnight or whatever they do. And they fix their cars there too, with the tools that are provided by the county library system. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Have another speaker? Emma?
I'm just here for historical reference. We know this money is here because in 2008, we almost separated. This is the City of Malibu taxpayer money. And my suggestion would be that LA County has a seat at the table. When we did these meetings, we were with Margaret, Donald, and Todd. I don't know who's your new county librarian, but I really, is she here?
Dr. Sky Patrick's not here now.
Oh. So I would really suggest that you get the people who are going to sign off at these meetings. And I know they're in Downey's or, you may have to go there or just do a Zoom. But I really think the more expeditious you make this, the better. And I think we are, as a community, all of us are really hurting in every department. And so I appreciate all of you. These are the heroes of Malibu here today. And I just want to applaud each and every one of you, including you guys at the table too. So your time and energy is the most precious asset we have. And I really applaud you. So I'm here to answer any questions about the history of this, but I would, hopefully you can get that meeting with LA County done. Like, I think you need to really look at city level, how to expeditiously have this meeting and have the decision making, maybe go off for an hour with LA County, get them to agree, and then you're done. Because I feel like you've had these meetings, and then the LA County meeting is, I don't know, months and months ago.
Yeah, I think Cynthia explained that. You may have missed
Yeah,
the
I missed
beginning
it,
portion
so-
of it. So today, we're gathering information. Then on Monday at the city council meeting, all 5 council members will make a recommendation. And in December 16th, then the LA County staff and city staff will receive that and then make decisions for the 26-27 budget.
And it's perfect Monday night's the anniversary, isn't it? The Franklin Fire almost.
Yes,
So everyone will be there, and I wish the county would be there. I hope you can participate, or Melissa, maybe you can send something to the county librarian to see the people that this money is going to help educate and the cultural shift that we need. That's it.
Thank you. Great. Do we have another? Okay. So we're back to us. Do you want to start?
No.
Do you want to make, are you happy, what modification? So we've got the copy of the 23-24 budget. It's the
did anything
same
change
for
from our
the,
last meeting? We had a meeting
So-
like 2 months ago.
Yeah, that is an adopted budget for this fiscal year.
Yeah.
What we are starting now is next year's budget, but before we can build out that budget, we need a list of priorities that we can recommend to the city council, for the city council to recommend to the library staff. So these are the list of priorities that we have currently. This is what we're looking at updating. You can add, remove, make some
Okay.
changes to this list of priorities.
So I would make a motion to support everything that just happened here today. And look into this $13 million upgrade to the, I just wanna look at it. I love the speaker series, I see a lot of people coming to it, I've spoken at a few and I'm impressed. I feel like all of this is culture for our city. We don't have a ton of culture because we're a new city, so the poets add culture and charm and gardens and all of this is very important to having a city. I guess the Film Society kind of, because we just got an email about their screen. That from Candace?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would like to like revisit how they're gonna have all of the movies that we've looked into funding for them, or if they don't have a theater.
I think it'll continue as it is right now.
Okay. Okay.
So just
I
a matter
haven't
of
heard
working
any
with it.
negative feedback about anything except for the homeless, which is a work in progress, because people would love to go to the library and enjoy the library, but a lot of people are deterred from doing that because of the circumstances. So if we could maybe add something to maybe an extra, I mean, the city council's been doing we're doing stuff. We also hired a private security fund,
It's on the agenda for Monday.
right, so I think I haven't heard any negative feedback about anything we're doing.
So on the last page.
Yeah.
So I would strongly encourage making sure that we get that funding for that second security guard so that we
Yes.
have continued, if we need to expand, maybe around drop off and pick up after, before and after school hours to make sure that our residents and other visitors to the library are welcomed and that the community in general is welcomed at the library and that they're, it's a positive experience for everybody who's there. Agree with the outreach librarian, teen librarian, Malibu Library Speaker Series, additional service hours. I know the $100,000 for the unscheduled maintenance is just a bucket, so if things come up, things can get repaired, so that's always good. Smart Start programs and staff training. So I think everything that's recommended, so the staff of the library is asking for a refresh of the teen area for $30,000.
The teen area in the current library?
Yes.
That was actually last year's.
Oh, that's last
That
year,
was
so
approved.
that's done?
That is
Okay.
approved.
Did that work
In
get done?
progress. In
Oh, it's in
progress.
progress, okay, good. So I think the questions I have are with, mostly surrounding the poet request. I think it's important that we get a dollar amount asked for that. I'm absolutely in favor of supporting kind of both in the classrooms and whatever we can. Maybe I need a clarification on the funding. Did city fund the money for the current caffeinated verse and everything? So is there like a special,
So, for years, the city has an adopted budget and our arts budget to cover costs related to workshops that, the Poet Laureate conducts. The Poet Laureate Committee now wants to pay those poets a little bit more money because we're bringing in world-renowned, nationally ranked poets that do require more than $150, which is what our budget is.
Okay.
So similar to like the library speaker series where we're paying poets or speakers, like $5,000, $10,000 to come here, that's what our Poet Laureate Committee wants to do, to bring in those world-renowned people.
So I think the question I have, would the library speaker series, if the budget were increased for that, could it cover both the library speaker series and a poet speaker series? Or
So right
should we
now,
recommend something different?
Poet Laureate kind of falls under city staff's
Okay.
umbrella. If we were to make it a part of a kind of a library poetry series, it would fall under library, right? Because
I
the library
see.
would do library speaker series and poetry series.
Funding would
Okay.
come out of the library.
Yeah. So.
So I guess that's the question I
Yeah,
have,
do that.
you know, is that something that's better to keep at the city level? And the city is responsible for managing that program and handling that program. You know, I'm not sure that necessarily the library staff is able or prepared to take on that additional item.
Exactly.
Okay, so any funds for the Poet Laureate speaker series direct to the city to fund?
I would say yes.
Okay.
It'll get done quickly.
Quicker.
Okay.
And we have our committee meetings monthly, so I can work with our Poet Laureate to get exactly who they want to see in our community.
Okay, and is that the same with the poet in the classroom? That still falls under all the city funds?
Correct.
Okay, so if you guys need more money from the city, come to city council and then we can talk.
We love what the city is doing for us, so thank you so much, yeah.
Okay, so for the SAMO fund, I think we need a budget.
Yeah, when do you need
So
it by?
today?
Proposal that we can submit to the county. So I would like to note that as part of the 25-26 budget meeting that we had a few months ago, should the subcommittee recommend to the city council to carry over those funds for 25-26, you would be carrying over the 3 proposals that were submitted, including the community brigade, the Boys and Girls Club proposal. So all those 3 proposals will be carried over as part of continued funding fiscal year. We submitted those 3 proposals to the county library for review. We have not heard back yet because we did submit them very late into the budget cycle. We should have been submitting them now, but we will be hearing an update at the 16th meeting.
So what does that mean for SAM? Like you're new, so does
This
that?
would be a new recommendation for this next fiscal
Don't
year.
behind.
For the 26-27 fiscal year.
Correct.
So what does that mean? when
You
you
just get us the proposal, I think, as soon as possible, but
Okay.
we'll be a little bit behind
That's okay.
the rest of the.
Well, whether or not this funding request over this group over here would actually get funded in this fiscal year.
Yeah. And then it would carry.
And then, so it would be whether or not you have a request for the next fiscal year. So are you asking for a carryover of the same amounts
Yes.
for the following fiscal year? Okay.
And is that true for this too, me?
No, because it would be
No,
just
you would
for
be a new.
25, 20, or 26, 27.
So they put in their request for the current fiscal year,
Uh-huh,
and that hasn't been determined yet,
okay,
but they're also asking for the next fiscal year. And so you would be asking for the
next fiscal year, so when do you need that by?
as soon as
As
possible.
soon as
Okay,
possible,
same.
just to be
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
And work with
I
Cynthia
will
and
provide you
Shannon.
with my contact
it would be
information
good to
after.
know that, thank you.
But no matter what, it has to be before the 16th, so give staff as much time, but
Oh, it does
before the
still,
16th,
okay,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
I also wanted to, all of this, the stuff that happens at the library, because some of this happens outside of the library, you know, it is kind of moot if we don't clean up that area. I don't know, I used to go to the library with my kid all the time, but the teens, like, I would love to give the teens the space, but I don't know if parents feel safe sending their teens to the library because of the current atmosphere. I would like to just make sure that the money, like our money goes into the security stuff first and foremost, because it all becomes moot. Gardens and native plants and poetry laureate stuff, if people don't feel safe going into it. Just making sure.
Can I
that
add
that's-
something?
I don't know, actually, it's up to the mayor.
let's wait. I think right now we're at the
Okay.
council thing. so.
That's all I really wanted to say, was. the
Yeah, I would
safety.
agree with you, that,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, people want to go to
People do wanna go to
a
the library.
comfortable, inviting place.
Yeah.
So,
Would you like to add community safety as one of the priorities to spotlight on our list?
I would,
Yes.
always. Without safety and feeling safe, it's all I need.
you had mentioned, the proposal by the library itself for a dramatic change to the building.
Yes, so we do want to provide an update on the RFP. We have not released the RFP yet because it's very community engagement driven. And what we don't want is another list of top 10 priorities of what the community want. We want to take feasibility steps and we want to be able to take those next steps. So we are currently rewriting the request for proposal to include a feasibility perspective. So instead of just doing the community outreach, they will be researching the feasibility of these other options. So that is currently on hold. We're working with Richard right now in our planning team to make sure we have the right language. But we did receive yesterday a request from the library, just for discussion purposes only, proposal for a library addition. This would be kind of adding a 4,000 square foot building detached to the front side of the library. We want to provide this here for review. And then I will be leaving a few copies right over here. This is just a very initial preliminary, just ideas for discussion, not necessarily taking those next steps, but just for your consideration and review.
I looked at this online before the meeting, and it's kind of like exciting, right? But like I said, until it feels like a safer place to go, I would say $13 million to put into something that people are hesitant to go to is kind of hard for me to even discuss. I would love to do it. I would absolutely love to have a beautiful entrance and monarch butterflies and modern, all of this, but if you have people camping in front of it and people don't wanna go, it's kind of sad. That's my discussion on it. Let's clean it up and then talk about.
Well, I mean, I think it's exciting to think about the possibility of reimagining the space and maybe adding some additional components to it. So I'm all for continuing to have conversations regarding this. I'll be honest, I'm not exactly enthused about this block. But I'm enthused about an overall reimagining of the space and adding additional elements to the library itself. So I think we definitely need to keep exploring the conversation and look at different things.
I agree. I think it's like if we, I don't know how the county feels, but to have the discussion about things that the community needs, like a theater. If they're willing to do this, which is I actually didn't know that they were interested in doing anything, really. So it is exciting to think about this. But if we could incorporate things that we know we need, like a little theater, then I would be more interested, I think.
Yeah, I think it might be a good idea to look back at the previous Parks and Rec master plan, our community land surveys, maybe some of the things that came up during that, to direct the RFP so that we can kind of tailor it with the knowledge that we already have.
Right.
Based upon what we might be able to do in these types of spaces.
And if we have, I think, a collaboration and a partnership with the ad hoc to be able to design this shoeboxy, we're not like dictated, it's a partnership and a dialogue, both for programming and for design.
Right. The city recently signed with a group for the Heathercliff property. Is that something that we can recommend on this particular location?
It would have to be a separate agreement, but.
Right, exactly,
We
yeah.
can definitely bring those questions up to the county so we can
Okay.
continue having those conversations.
Yeah, I think that
With
would,
those next steps.
Yeah, that's interesting. So where did this actually come from? Is there a
this came
person-
from Dr. Patrick.
Dr. Patrick?
Yeah.
Okay, so Dr. Patrick, I'm going to assume is in favor of us using 13 million, just as clarifying, of our 25 million-ish set-aside funds of our taxpayer money to add to the existing library. That's at this location. I wonder if Dr. So-and-so would be interested in doing this at Heathercliff for a Western micro library?
I think that's the conversation.
4,000 square feet, that's, how many,
It's 13 million bucks, but we can move it around. I mean, I like recycling buildings and things like that, but if we're building already, we could use funding from the 25 million.
Will this be included on Monday's agenda? Okay. Yeah,
Can I
so,
mention
well,
something,
yes.
Mayor Wiggins? In here, it does mention opportunity for makerspace and meeting rooms.
Mhm.
And so I know that that's part, like, right, that was part of the Heathercliff kind of a vision too, or
Right.
Art Center
That's what I
vision.
mean.
So,
It could be.
Yeah, that's why, I mean, I think it's something that we definitely need to get into more conversations. So, I think what the council is asking for is direction from staff, how it is that we move forward so we can be exploring this, what steps we need to take. Does it get incorporated with Heathercliff? Does it get incorporated with this space? You know, finally the city has land and a possible partnership to be developing these spaces that the community has wanted for a long time. So, give us a roadmap that we can follow so that we can make some decisions and direct everybody with. You know, like I said, that we've done the community land survey. I think we're pretty clued in as to what our community is rallying for. It's just a matter of how we're going to work together to get it. And the different buckets we can use to do it.
And so this is gonna be on our Monday night agenda?
It will be part of the presentation,
It is
the
a very-
agendas are already posted.
Agenda.
We do need this item reviewed and approved before the 16th,
So
that
this
is
is
our
a-
annual meeting.
Okay.
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 I'm sorry, yes, sir.
There was something that was mentioned earlier about funding for the Boys and Girls Club, I think their regular funding. It wasn't carried over in 25-26, so I think it has to be presented for it to show up on 26-27.
okay.
I don't think it was mentioned.
Could you guys verify whether or not Boys and Girls Club was included in the 25-26 budget? And if they weren't, to get them back in?
There are several different line items for that, would that be just for the supplies or for the programming as well?
No, they'd be separate. The supplies is kind of that same thing that is reoccurring every year. And then the programming should be a separate. So it's the 50 is the supplies and the proposal for the program is the 200.
In the past, the supplies had been like 50,000.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was at 25-26. I don't remember seeing that.
Okay, well, maybe maybe Boys and Girls Club can work with the
Yeah.
library.
I
to
can
get
work
that
with you
clarified.
guys.
Okay, do you need
I'm like,
any additional
hard to go
information?
back in time.
So we're looking at our list of priorities, continue funding 25-26, including a proposal regarding the microforest program and community security as part of our newer priorities, just to keep top of mind, keep it on our list. We're looking at incorporating the supplies for the Boys and Girls Club, and then carrying over those discussions regarding the library addition, and then with our listing of questions, including how can we incorporate community lands, what our currently projects are, and what those, providing really, or working with the county to provide a roadmap of what those next steps should be.
I would love a breakdown of where they got $13 million for 4,000 square feet.
Well, I mean, it's on the back.
Are they using local contract, like, I guess?
It would go through the typical RFP and prevailing wage contractors and everything else.
Okay.
So these are all just estimates, and I don't think they have an architect working with them yet, so I'm just educated amounts.
And then if the courthouse releases, I don't know, we don't know the destiny of that. It scares me to use up funds, because what if we could expand the library or something to the courthouse? So I don't wanna say,
I think that needs to be part of a bigger conversation for a second, yeah.
okay, before we 'cause it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is just a proposal.
I
They're
know,
just throwing this
it's
out.
great
It's
to
something
know
just
that
to
they're
start a
interested
discussion. Exactly.
I had no idea they were interested in Malibu, expansion, so it's good to know.
Does staff have what they need?
Yes, we will return with a presentation at Monday's city council meeting for a full council recommendation.
Great, thank you so much, everybody coming out and your work on all of this.
Yeah,
Appreciate
it's
it.
great to see this much interest. I know it's
Yeah.
exciting.
You need to give us food. I didn't know it would be this taxing.
Oh, man.
Well, we're all done. We're
We're all
adjourned,
done.
so you can,
Thank you,
you can go down.
everyone.
Yes, go eat.
For the environment, bring back the beavers.
Thank you.
Water.